Welcome to Smack Talk. Link down below, as always, in the description. To credit WWE. Had a nice compliment, someone telling me that they watch my videos, of all people. They don't go to Reddit or the actual WWE website to keep up with who won, what's going on, where are the storylines going with who, what, and the where, and the how, and the then when. That made no sense, but I know what I was talking about in my mind. Moving on. Charlotte Flair and Shotzi defeat Io Sky and Bayley. I enjoyed this match. It was an interesting pair-up between Flair and Shotzi, but didn't really come as much of a surprise since Charlotte Flair came out to the defense of Shotzi last week, and then Asuka came out, pulled the belt off Dakota Kai's shoulder. That is her name, yes. Helps when I know their name. And just like, what? And then Bayley gets distracted and all this kind of stuff. It was good. To me, this had the E in WWE. And now, backstage later on, Io Sky said that she wants to face Asuka for the title. So that'll be cool. I think they're both great competitors. It should make for a great match. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller interrupted LA Knight's promo. This was a nice little segment. I enjoyed it. I think Austin Theory and Grayson Waller make a little cool bromance duo. I feel like Grayson Waller's also improving on the microphone a little bit, maybe getting a little bit more, I wouldn't say comfortable, because I think he was always comfortable. But there was a part of him, or part of me rather, that didn't enjoy a part of him, and that was the Grayson Waller effect. I was just like, wow, the insults and the stuff you're saying is kind of like hit and miss. It's either a home run or a foul ball. There's like no in between. There's no even making it to first or second base. It's either a really good comment or, huh? And I feel like he's doing better in the short period of time he's been on the main roster. So that was nice to see. I got some cheat sheets here, and I'm not ashamed of it. Yeah, that's right. So during that LA Knight defeating Austin Theory, because there was the match after, Grayson Waller was on commentary, and I thought he did better than the last time. Was he ever on commentary? I think he was. Either which way, it was actually pretty good. It felt natural. It didn't sound awkward. So it was nice to see. And the match, just again, I mean, it's Austin Theory. It's LA Knight. Yeah, it was good. I liked it. Defeated a two-time United States champion. I really do see gold in his future. Hopefully. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything here. No, not really. The Brawling Brutes confronted the Judgment Day. And then the Judgment Day proceeded to defeat said Brawling Brutes. And this is going to sound rude, but Ridge the Fridge, as we know, he's been involved in, a few serious things, breaking Big E's neck. There's another one that I'm forgetting. And then Elton Prince. I almost called him Elton John or Prince Elton. It's Elton Prince, I think. Helps when I know their name. And they're backstage, by the way. Mind you, I don't recall this interview. I don't know what happened. But yeah, it was a great match. I thought it was great. And Sheamus wasn't there because they're in India. Just like you could see Riddle was in India. A couple of people are over there, including John Cena. Which is why when there was this going on here, I was really hoping John Cena was going to come out. Could have tagged up with LA Knight to go up against these two narcissistic clowns that I like. I do like them. But that didn't happen. Then when Ridge picked up Finn and Damian at the same time, I was like, oh God, don't break them. Don't break them. I mean, even he kind of made a joke at the beginning on the mic right there where he was like, I can't remember what he said, but something to the effect of, I'm good at breaking people. And I'm like, yeah, and nearly paralyzing or killing them. Goddamn thing stuck in my eye. An eyelash or something. So I got concerned too when he did the little rugby check, because that's the same move he pulled on Elton Prince that shelved him in real life. So it was just kind of like, part of me was trying to put myself in his shoes. If I had done all those things, would I lack some confidence in my ability to wrestle safely? And perhaps the people that he's got to go up against, do they get a little bit nervous and go, oh my God, Biggie, oh my God, Elton Prince, oh my God. Some of the other people I can't remember. There's a few others that might have been Seth, or I don't know. Nothing against him as a person. I'm sure he's a great person. He's a safe worker, takes the job seriously. But I just kind of feel like every time I see him, and I feel bad for being, I don't know what the word is, for judging him like that, but I always kind of go, oof, what's going to happen this time? And it's not to try and be funny at all. I'm like legitimately concerned, because there's a lot of superstars that have been wrestling for decades and decades. They've never had any issues. I mean, yes, there was that one time, just off the top of my head, Seth shelved Finn Balor, right? Dislocated his shoulder, and that's why Finn Balor was the first ever Universal Champ back when the title was red and barely held it for 24 hours. That was because of Seth Rollins, right? Power bombed him on the outside 7 years ago. And then he also busted John Cena's nose, made it look like a Tetris piece. So things can happen. And no, I haven't forgotten about those, but I would never say that Seth Rollins is unsafe. I'm not saying he's unsafe. I'm just saying, whatever you want to call it. But it was a great match. It really, really was a good match. He's incredibly strong. Being able to pick up Finn and Damian Priest. I mean, most people wouldn't be able to pick up Damian, let alone throwing on Finn Balor. So that was great. And then at the end, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits came out, confronted the Judgment Day to say, we're going to be taking over. We'll have to see about that, naturally. Every time they come out, Bobby Lashley, I always wonder where the other team was that he first approached before the Street Profits, right? I don't remember who it was. Who was it? I don't remember. But I do know, and I don't know if I'm making this up or if it happened, because I'd have to look into it. I just know that Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin are an amazing tag team. And I wish they would potentially join. Or the likes of Omos and MVP. I still don't know what's going on with them, but I know that they're still under contract, as is AOP, the Authors of Pain, with Mr. Ellering. You know, the manager for the Legion of Doom, a.k.a. Road Warriors. They've been under contract supposedly for a year. Where the hell are they? Bring them out. We need a bigger tag team faction division so we could start splitting those unified tag team championship belts. To me, they're believable. Montez Ford is believable. Bobby Lashley is believable. Angelo Dawkins, in my humble opinion, not quite there yet with being sold on the aggressiveness, the ruthlessness. I still see him as a happy-go-lucky, silly guy stirring the pot when he comes out. I'm just being real. But then again, we could say the same thing about Montez Ford coming out shaking his red cup. But I don't know. I feel like he can switch from serious to goofy on the fly, and it's believable. Angelo Dawkins, not quite there yet for me. What do I know? I don't know much. We'll have to wait and see where this goes. AJ Styles defeats Jimmy Uso. So I'm going to look at my cheat sheet again. Yeah, Paul Heyman, or LA Knight, Waller. Like I said, Waller was good on commentary. I've already talked about that. Ridge the Fridge picks up Damian and Finn. Yeah, Judgment Day at the end. Right, so how it happened was with this here, we got AJ Styles that defeated Jimmy Uso. Great. But then Solo got involved a little bit, came down the aisle with Paul Heyman. Earlier on in the night, AJ Styles confronted, well, he didn't confront him really much. I guess he did confront him. I got mixed up with somebody else that Paul Heyman was with, which was LA Knight. We'll get to that after. So he did confront Paul Heyman, grabbed him, and then Jimmy Uso blindsided him and attacked him. And then later on, when he went and saw the OC, He was upset. He's like, really? You guys, through right or wrong, you've always had my back. Where were you? Well, if it's going to be like this, I don't want you out there during my match. So they didn't come out. But then the Judgment Day came out. And then you got Solo. And then you got Jimmy. And nobody came out to help AJ. So it's going to be interesting to see what transpires of that later. If it's going to add some more friction. Because now it seems like whatever friction was in... I almost said the bloodline. Was in Judgment Day between Finn Balor and Damian Priest seems to have ceased ever since they won the titles. Finn's like, I'm a Grand Slam champ, bitch. I got 2 belts, 1 on each shoulder. Who cares? Right? So that's what happened with that. Now, there's more than that happened. This is why this is important to talk about. So at some point, LA Knight went to talk to Adam Pearce. And Paul Heyman was already there. And Paul Heyman, was all buttering him up. Oh, I'm a huge fan of yours. But next time, knock on the door. Do I make myself understood or perfectly clear? And, LA Knight shook his hands like, yeah. Gets like right up close to him in his face. I was expecting Solo Sikoa to come out. Right? With the titanium thumb right in the jugular. But it didn't happen. It was only like a minute and a half, this little segment. Is more of it going to come? I don't know, but it was an interesting little confrontation. This could have easily set up a Solo versus LA Knight. Yeah, this was the part where AJ was upset with the OC, a shot of Riddle in India, I'm assuming. I don't recall that interview, like I said. Yeah, I did talk about this match, so for some reason I feel like I forgot it, but yeah. Just all in all. And it's always like that every week. For the most part, it's usually a more positive experience than a negative one. It's the same thing with no matter what other promotion I watch. Doesn't matter if it's Impact, TNA, whatever you want to call it. If it's AEW, really, really doesn't matter to me. I just enjoy wrestling. There'll be some little snippets that are interesting, some not so much. Oh, there was also a part that I wanted to talk to you about when it came to LA Knight when he was doing his promo, by the way, which was interesting. It actually takes a jab at Kevin Nash from a promo that dates all the way back from like June 10th, 1996 in WCW. So I'm going to have a link to that as well. I don't want to play it because I don't want to get a copyright strike. But it was basically when there was tension between Razor Ramon and Kevin Nash with, oh my God. My mind sometimes, like anxiety, I just get so overwhelmed. Eric Bischoff, Jesus Christ. How the hell did I forget his name for a moment there? But anyways, and Kevin Nash is like, we didn't come here to play. Look at the adjective play. And I'm like, English is like my third language. It's not even anywhere near my first language. And I'm like, ain't play a verb? Anyways, you could hear LA Knight making fun of that.
How's that song of his go? I came to play, right?
Hold on, right here.
Now, if I was a complete moron, I'd say, let's look at that adjective. But I'm not a moron, so I'm going to say, let's look at that verb, play.
I have to pause it a little bit. Yeah, anyways. Watch me get a copyright strike for something as stupid as that. But yeah, that was a jab at Kevin Nash because Kevin Nash has been, I don't know if it's kayfabe or not, but he's really been ripping into LA Knight's character, saying he's a complete fraud and a ripoff. He's given a gimmick and he's going with it. Really, is what it is. I like Kevin Nash. I really do. He says some stuff that I'm like, oh boy. But then he says some other stuff that I'm like, yeah, okay. That's like that for anything else, really. So he's allowed to have his opinion and think he's a ripoff. Who cares? It's really not that big of a deal. But I really enjoyed the subtle jab because at first I was like, wait a second. And then I was like, I couldn't place it. Then I had to Google it and I came across this. So I'll leave a link down below in the description box if you want to watch this promo as well. It's in fairly good quality.
Now, he said last week
Anyways,
that he was going to bring somebody out.
he really looks like he's trying to think about what he's going to say. Okay, wait. Is it a verb or an adjective? I'm just fucking around. Anyhow, that's it for me for this week. If I missed anything, let me know. Hopefully, I didn't really miss anything. But yeah, like I said, there was a showdown in India. I'm not too sure what the results are of that, why it wasn't televised. I know some people were saying, why does everything need to be televised? And I was like, well, 'cause it's a pretty big event. You'd think you'd have it televised, but what do I know? Anyhow, thumbs up if you liked the video. Thumbs down if you didn't. We'll bend it in half and twist it, as always, and snap it off in your ass. And if you want to subscribe, exactly. I don't even need to finish that sentence. Take care. Maybe I'll see some of you in the next one. Bye for now.